Hey you guys, welcome back. Today I would like to show you the Lithops. Lithops? I don't know. I like to say Lithops. I don't know why. But anyway, I have a flower. Do you see it there? Is it going to come into focus? I don't know. But also, we have some little babies here that are going to try to flower. They've actually started to produce pollen. They're really, really small. Usually they come out and they're really leafy, or not leafy, petally. Is that a word? Petally? I don't know. So anyway, they usually come out and they come out kind of fully formed and then they open up. And then usually at night they close and then in the morning they open. But at least that's what I remember from the last time. It's been 2 years. So anyway, I see pollen in here. There's a little bit of an orange center. So I might take a Q-tip and dance it around on top and see if I can try to pollinate. Wouldn't that be kind of cool if I could get a little seed pod or two? And then I wouldn't have to buy them. That would be awesome. And then I could say that these ones are plants that I've made myself. That would be pretty awesome. So anyway, so in here I also have the split rock. This isn't a Lithops. This is a cousin of the Lithops, but their care is very similar. Right now it's getting into fall. And in my area in the fall, these ones are starting to go into their I don't want to say dormant stage because it's actually their growth stage. Their don't water stage. And during the don't water stage, they do their flowering. And then they will also push out their new set of leaves. Flowering if you're lucky. The new growth of the leaves comes no matter what. And then when the new leaves come out, you don't want to water because the plant itself is taking the moisture from the old leaves to nourish the new leaves, and then it continues its life cycle. It's really, really confusing, but once you get to know Lithops on a whole, it becomes common nature, and it really is cool, and it's a fun plant to grow, and if you haven't grown them, please do so. Give it a try, and I guarantee that you will kill a few. But it's fun. It's frustrating, but it's fun. Once you get to know how they are, you'll be like, wow, I don't know how I ever killed one of those before because they really don't require any care. In the summertime, I like to put mine outside, and they get watered with all of my other plants. Sometimes I'm like, I think I've given this too much water, so I will water around it. But really, every time it rains, it would get drenched. Every time I would water, plants above would water it. It would get watered. But because it was outside and then the breeze and stuff, it would dry out really, really quickly because it's in a very, very well-draining mix. So the water would go through it. Really, there's not a lot of soil in there. There's a lot of clay bits in there. And it dries out fairly quickly. But in the wintertime, I will water it very infrequently. If I feel like it needs to be watered, I will give it a mist, a good misting, and that will be as far as it goes. I won't actually water again until the old leaves have shriveled up completely and are just like dry husks. And the new leaves will be looking beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But you want to wait before you water to see the old leaves all shriveled up. And I say this because, see this is what is bad about growing these as a group planting, because every single one seems to be in different stages of growth at any given time. So these ones are flowering, this one here, and these other little ones right, I don't know if I'm pointing to them. Anyway, the little one's flowering. And then there's these red ones here that are now producing their new set of leaves. So these ones here shouldn't be watered right now. So the new leaves that are coming out are going to try to take the moisture from the old leaves. But if I continue to water, they're just all going to survive. And that's cool if that's what you want, but it will never look right. Everything will look split and gross. But I don't know. If that's it's not its normal growth habit. So anyway, I will stop watering this now, let these things flower and do their thing, but stop watering, and then in time we'll do an update, and you'll notice that these leaves the old leaves will be shriveling up and the new leaves will be getting more plump without water, which is amazing. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because that's really cool that it's flowering. The other one is the seedlings. Do you remember these ones? We grew these seedlings a long time ago. We planted the seeds and they grew and they were kind of, well, I love them. I don't even know. I forget about them all the time. Now I don't water them very often, but I'll show you some photos over in the corners. I don't know which corner I'll choose, but what they're doing is I'm watering them a little bit too often. When you're growing seedlings, they tend to grow a little bit faster. And when they're young, you want to keep them constantly moist. And then you don't really know when you're supposed to start pulling back the water, because if you don't start pulling back the water, at some point they will decide that they want to rot or burst. Because lithops don't have the mechanism inside of them to stop bringing up water. Because where they're from, they get like a rainy season and they need to take up as much moisture as they can in a short period of time, because the rest of the time is an arid, terrible, how do I survive kind of time. So it doesn't have that mechanism like other plants that we grow outside have, that knows how much water it needs, and it only pulls up that much and then it kind of stops. These ones will keep pulling up moisture until it bursts. The cell structure inside will burst. So many of you that have tried growing lithops have had that situation where you wake up one day and you go and see your lithops and all of a sudden it's just flat. It looks like it just deflated onto the soil. And that's because you've overwatered it. Or if you just purchased it, perhaps the garden center overwatered it because they don't know what they're doing. And that's totally normal for this sort of thing. So I'm still learning with seedlings. This is my only set that has survived. And I'm learning their growth cycles, and eventually as they get bigger it will have a little bit more time between cycles. But I'm noticing that during a season they might have 2 leaf generation cycles. So I don't know when to keep it dry and when not to keep it dry. And so I end up misting these from time to time. To be quite honest, they're dry a lot. And then I give it a little bit of water when I feel really bad. Like, I can't remember the last time I ever gave them a drink. Like right now, this soil is like dust. And they're still happy as a clam. But you'll see in the photos that they are still plump. The old leaves are still plump, and they've got this new growth coming out the side, and it's looking nice. And we need to try to bring that all in and rein it in and have it just be what it's supposed to be. The old leaves are supposed to nourish the new leaves, and the old leaves shrivel up, and then the new leaves take over, and then next season the new leaves come out, and then those old new leaves shrivel. I'm making no sense. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to, in the springtime, transplant these ones, and we'll do it together. And maybe I'll put them in individual pots so I can get their little growth cycles underway, and go from there. But I don't know. I want to take you along for this journey because it's something new to me, and it's fascinating. And I've been wanting to transplant these for at least a year. But I keep procrastinating, and they're doing just fine in here. The poor things, they're in about 1 centimeter of soil, and they have a taproot. And the poor little taproot. So anyway, this video has been long-winded. If you have any questions on lithops, please ask them in the comments below. I'm still learning, but I've gotten it down to a little bit of a science, so I could probably help you out if you're having some problems. There's other people that watch the videos that are probably saying, Bill, you have no idea what you're talking about. Everything you're saying is all wrong. So please also put a comment down below if you know how to help people that are asking these questions. Just don't be mean and nasty about it, because that's really off-putting, and I will remove those comments because that's not cool. But everybody starts somewhere, and we all need to ask questions. So anyway, if you haven't joined the Plants and Things What's Growing page, please do so. Please post photos of your lithops. I love seeing them. try putting a flashlight up against it, a small little flashlight, and watch them glow. Maybe you can post photos of your lithops under lights at nighttime. They're really beautiful. I should do the same. I've been getting people to do it with their lithops, but I haven't done it with my own. These split rocks don't work. They don't work, but these other guys, they've got like a little window, and they glow. It's really pretty. So anyway, yeah, join Plants and Things What's Growing, also the Plants and Things page. Anyway, happy growing, everyone! And they are at minimum 12 inches, but I tried to make them longer than that. This one here is probably about, probably about 12 inches. I would say this one's maybe 18 to 20 inches long. I